much over
Yeah.
time. People are here, they're very patient. So thank you. We have one last panel, very important topic. Realizing the potential and mitigating the risk of AI. And I have two dear friends here who have come in here for us today, brought us the much needed light. So, dear esteemed attendees, I demand and I request you to please stay back with us just for a few more minutes as we shall now rivet into dissecting the realms of AI. And just as technology marvels, sorry, just as technology marvel, but as a nuanced tapestry of potential and responsibility. As we delve into this, we shall envision how our courtroom, if you want to call it, where we are examining the evidence, the weight of risks, and the advocate for a future where the promises of AI are realizing ethically and judiciously better than Arti Chopra, who is the principal of Amity International School, 46 Gurgaon, and Supriya. Supriya, thank you so much for waiting so long to be here with us and to be getting this chance to speak to others. She's a founder of Coding and More, and she is an edtech startup focused on providing personalized AI and coding education to students in K 12 grade band and a staunch supporter of women empowerment. So, to you, Supriya, I'm going to give this floor to you. And when you ask me to bring in Arti, who's joined us, but we've captured a snippet with her, and we will share that with you because they both met yesterday and spoke about it. Go ahead, Supriya, take it away.
Thank you, Meenakshi. I'm very excited to be here. So, as all of you know, I'm an AI educator. We started Coding in More in 2019, and I know that today we've been talking about education in the AI era. And the first thing that I wanted to share was that we talk about AI in education, we should really look at it in two ways. One is learning about AI, and the other is using AI tools for education. Both are equally important today for schools to be incorporating, to learn about AI and to be able to use AI tools effectively. And as you know, all the panelists before us have spoken that in order to do this, we need to start, with the teachers. And we have to do this in a systematic manner. And of course, there is a fear that, AI is a technology. Maybe it's not for me. It's only for people who are good at STEM. So I want to sort of dispel those fears. Is for all. And today, with the generative AI tools that we have now at our fingertips, which cause a disruption in the education, sector, people realize that whether or not, they allow it, children are still going to use it. And that was the wake-up call. So coming back to how do we incorporate AI education, both learning about AI and learning the AI tools. Of course, we need an AI policy. And Christine very beautifully laid out, all the key points on formulating a AI policy. And I'm not going to go over that because she covered that really, really well. But I think that it starts with making AI policy, especially for the generative AI tools, so that every teacher is on board on what's allowed and what's not. And look, at the end of the day, we need to equip our children with these skill sets because education is about having skills which are going to help our future generations be more productive. So we need to have a living AI policy that is changing with the changing technology. B, we need to have structured trainings for our teachers both for foundational AI and for generative AI tools. The reason I think they both are important is because today every field today requires AI, whether you're a lawyer, doctor, farmer, artist, you're going to use some AI in it. Or if you decide to become an AI specialist, you can go deeper into it. So the teachers need to have the foundations of AI so they can weave it in their conversations, no matter, what subject they're teaching. B, they need to learn to use the generative AI tools so that they themselves can be more productive and have more time, with the children. And the same tools And the same foundational AI is also taught to the children in an age appropriate manner so that children are also future ready. The third thing that I would say is that it's very important to get the second stakeholder, into the conversation, which is the parents. Especially with the generative AI tools, which are so accessible. The same message should be going from teacher, from parent to the child on how to use these tools more responsibly, and so that we are not delegating our thinking to the tools, but we are using it, for our own productivity. And that is a responsible AI practice that we want to harness by educating all the stakeholders. And the third thing that I would say that, as a strategy in order to, integrate AI in our education is to have growth mindset, and a lifelong learning mindset where you're adapting to the changing technology. And rather than invest in a long term curriculum, it's important to, start with micro courses on AI and how to use AI in education so that you can keep pivoting rather than being, stuck to a particular technology. And we always talk about, how do you mitigate the risk of AI, how do we incorporate ethical use of AI. And I think that this also comes with learning about the power of AI and the limitations of AI. And I think the limitations of AI, the biggest one is that, we have to remember that even though it sounds so convincing, we should not take everything to be accurate, because it is learning from data, and depending upon what data it has been fed in, the biases come in, and that's where the ethics are so important. And I think it is important that all users of AI remember that you should not delegate, AI to be making your decisions. It has to be human centric. It has to be you're using it as a tool to enhance your productivity, but you make the decisions. The biases that we keep talking about, again, when you understand foundational AI to see how it works, then you understand why, the generative AI tools can give you answers which may not be right for you because you're not part of the data. And I think that's another reason why, it's important to incorporate even foundational AI education in our systems so that everybody has a voice. We have a more equal voice for women, for underrepresented communities, and that's how we can try to mitigate the risk of biases. Some other, limitations have again been touched upon, by the panelists before, about data privacy, about data security. We've spoken about the ethical issues. One more thing that I would like to share is I have often spoken to educators, and they are afraid that the children are cheating, and they have plagiarism tools in place to see whether the children have used AI. And I would like to share that today, the way this technology is changing, there is no tool that can catch, an AI generated content. The only way to know if something has been plagiarized is by the teacher herself, because she knows her children more than anybody else. And that goes even for, all the information that we see, right, on misinformation. When you see something on TV which doesn't seem right because it could not have been said by the particular person, you're actually using your critical thinking. And I think that that's very important to recognize. And the other thing that I believe that is important, as far as a limitation of trying to mitigate the risk of AI, we must remember that these AI tools are learning from us. So we should introduce, the tools to our children in an age appropriate manner, but for the younger ones also maybe have the guardrails on and do it under supervision. So I believe that, today AI is very exciting, is changing, is going to change the way, the future of work is. But if we can, create a safe environment and educate our teachers in a continuous basis, educate our children, keep the parents in the loop so that a uniform message is going around. We would really be heading to build an ecosystem where everybody is learning and pivoting with the changing landscape of AI. And I also wanted to share that I was so pleased to see the panelists before me with Adobe, because Adobe is one of those generative AI companies which actually follows responsible AI practices, because they have trained all their data only on their own stock images. They follow transparency practices. So I'm so happy that they even presented here, and thank you so much. So over
Pleasure,
to
Supriya.
Arti.
Yeah, thank you, Supriya. This was amazing. And you spoke actually plain truth. Like if I were to fear AI, my students using AI, I don't think I've taught them well. You know what they say about parenting? If you have confidence in the values that you have instilled in your children, I think you have nothing to fear. And that's exactly what the case is over here. So if we know what it is, I think it's better to know the demons than hide them. So thank you. Let's hear Arti on this and see what Arti has to share.
Yeah, hi Supriya. Uh, it's always great when we are together on a platform like
True. I think the verdict is clear. Ethical considerations must guide evolution of AI. I think the conversation that we've heard, the legal custodians of ethical AI unravel the intricacies and chart out a course for just the AI landscape. So I guess we just have to tread along, move along, see where it takes us. And I personally believe that education and AI, um, harmonized, when they're harmonized, can compose the symphony of progress, echoing the endless possibilities that lie ahead of us. And talking of these possibilities, tomorrow is the day to actually get hands on with these possibilities. Tomorrow, we are spending 5 hours unpacking AI, taking it to our schools, to our classrooms, to our teachers, to our students, and making sense of what it means to bring AI to your schools, to your classrooms, to teaching and learning in general. For the amazing, chat window responses that you have been giving. I love the chat between David and Kristen, the way they were discussing the whole piece. There was a complete parallel conversation that was going on. I absolutely love it. But you've been amazing. Your feedback is vital. Please spend just about a few minutes to share your feedback with us. I'm going to share the link in the chat window as well. But thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an amazing 2.5 hours, 30 minutes more than what we had asked for. Thank you for being so patient, and thank you for being here. If any one of you has any questions about tomorrow's session, we are staying back here just to answer your questions. But honestly, it's been an honor being here with you. You've been very patient. Some of you have asked for the link again. I'm going to give you the registration link for tomorrow once again in the chat window. And we really look forward to having you tomorrow in our session as well. And we promise tomorrow this session is all about you, all about making it possible and actually taking it to your boardroom and doing what you do best, teach using that tool. So here's the form for registration. Please go ahead. You can join us, and you can go ahead and please simply just meet us there as you'd like. So thank you so much for spending this time with us. Have a wonderful, wonderful day ahead.